Hi, I'm Mr. Koshari is here with one other episode of Dark Theory USA. What the news is, apparently Israel is preparing to attack Iran after the fourth round of negotiation between Iran and United States about the nuclear deal. And I want to give you my feedback and what I gathered from the information that I have got on internet surface. But I think it's not a bad idea to first let's see how Anna Kasparian react to it, and over there I'm going to give you my feedback. Okay, so let's see what she's saying.
Warning, saying within 30 days, if Iran doesn't dismantle all of its nuclear programs, enrichment of centrifuges, there will be an attack. I would hope Iran would back away and there wouldn't have to be an attack. But if there has to be an attack, let Israel do it. Let the United States provide them bunker-busting bombs and B-52s.
Well, it looks like Warhawk like Alan Dershowitz is in luck, because the new intelligence shows that Israel is in fact preparing for a possible strike on Iran's nuclear facilities, even as the Trump administration pursues diplomatic means to get a new nuclear deal to prevent Iran from building nuclear weapons. But as was the case with the nuclear deal that President Barack Obama secured back in 2015, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is not interested in peace here. He wanted to torpedo the original nuclear deal. Unfortunately, he succeeded in doing that in Trump's first term. And now as Trump tries to secure a second nuclear deal, you have Israel thinking, maybe we do a strike anyway. And then after we do a strike, what choice does the United States have? Of course, they're going to help us. So let's get into the granular details here. The intel comes from multiple US officials who are familiar with the latest intelligence, who caution it's not clear that Israeli leaders have made a final decision, and that in fact there is deep disagreement within the US government about the likelihood that Israel will ultimately act. Whether and how Israel strikes will likely depend on what it thinks of the US negotiations with Tehran over its nuclear program. So there are multiple people who spoke to CNN for this story, and another person that's familiar with this intelligence that's been gathered by US officials on this issue says that the chance of an Israeli strike on an Iranian nuclear facility has gone up significantly in recent months. And the prospect of a Trump-negotiated US-Iran deal that doesn't remove all of Iran's uranium makes the chance of a strike more likely. So let's just talk about that briefly, because it's important to understand how these negotiations are going. Now, the United States and Iran concluded their fourth round of negotiations over the weekend. They're going to continue talking. So this pursuit of diplomacy, which we should give Trump some positive reinforcement for, continues, and that's a good thing. But right now, the real sticking point is the fact that the United States doesn't want Iran to enrich any uranium at all, which is a problem, because Iran, especially under the original nuclear deal, was able to enrich some uranium for their energy needs. Now think about how things operate in Iran. Yes, it is an oil-producing country, but oil is really the heart of their economy. They export their oil in order to keep their economy going, and they want to enrich uranium, have like the minimal amount necessary to generate enough energy for their country. So it's not enough enriched uranium to build a nuclear weapon, but it is enough for them to provide energy to the people of Iran. And so that's the sticking point. The Trump administration is like, no uranium at all. No enriched uranium at all. And Iran's like, bro, we need energy. So that's what they're negotiating right now. Now, according to CNN, the heightened concerns about a strike come not only from the public and private messaging from senior Israeli officials, but also from intercepted Israeli communications and observations of Israeli military movements that could suggest that there will be an imminent strike. For example, Israel has reportedly moved some of their air munitions and has completed some military exercises, an air exercise to be specific. Thus far, Trump has stuck to the policy of diplomacy. And guys, regardless of what you think about Trump, he should be given kudos for that, because the positive reinforcement might work, right? If he does something that we want, that we think is a good thing, cheering him on might encourage him to keep going in that direction. But we'll see, because Trump is easily swayed. He's very impressionable. He can turn on anyone at any given moment. So far, he has resisted a war with Iran, but let's not forget, he is the one who ripped up the Iran nuclear deal in his first term. Trump is also the guy who decided to assassinate Qasem Soleimani, who was the top general in Iran's military. And that could have led to, a full-fledged war, a hot war between the United States and
Iran. All right, okay. So a couple of things that I have to lay out before I give you my feedback. One of them is, of course, stuff that she's talking about, it's correct. But of course, there's a devil is in the detail. There are a couple of stuff that I think they are worth being mentioned. And I'm going to start with the fact that, yes, after the fourth round of negotiation over there, it got paused, and because they got to the technical issue, which was America said 0% enrichment, and Iran said no, we negotiate. That's out of the table. You cannot even negotiate if we can enrich or not. If you want to make sure that we are not making bomb, yeah, we can find a solution, or find a way to let you in, so your expert can come and see like if we are making any bomb or not. But other than that, we are not negotiating if we're gonna to have whether we are allowed to have enrichment inside the country or not. And the thing is, Witkov was the envoy, right? Like, he was sent by Trump to go to the Middle East to fix the issue in the Middle East, right? And the first week, when you see, like, after first round of the negotiation, two of them happened in Oman, in Muscat, then the other one happened in the Rome, Italy. In all of them, at least first week, Witkov said, well, we are okay with 3.67%. Enrichment uranium inside Iran, but no more than 4%. And the reason that below 4% is because under 4%, it can be used for peaceful purposes like agriculture, medicine, all those stuff. But after 4%, it's gonna get tricky, and some people, they said up to 20% you can find the use for peaceful purposes, and above that, everyone agrees like it's the only use that you can have for more than 20% of enrichment uranium is only for nuclear bomb. And so they are saying under 4% that everyone agrees. Iran says that's okay. We are all ears to see how we can make you believe that we are not making nuclear bomb, right? So first week, Witkov said, it is on Fox News, you can go watch it on YouTube, under 4%, that's okay. And now it says zero, we are not gonna accept any of them. Like, they changed their words. And then it's hard for me to believe that Witkov said, well, I didn't know what I was talking about. They told me under 4% that was okay. I thought that was okay. Yeah, of course, Witkov is not expert when it comes to the nuclear, when it comes to nuclear deal, nuclear talk, or even Middle East. He's in real estate. He's basically what Trump was doing, basically in real estate in New York, if I'm not mistaken. So you could say, well, it's not professional. Listen, it's not about he's professional. No, he's the display. He's the representative. There's a team behind that. It's not like he was just Googling, oh, under 4% can be used for peaceful purposes, so let me go tell them under 4%, see what happened, 3.67, and they say, okay, yeah, hooray, we won the deal. That was very constructive negotiation. And then you come home and then people say, what are you talking about? No, you have to say zero and say, oh, sorry, like the kids, they go and they say, they give a promise and they come home and the parents, they say, no, you cannot, you're not allowed it. And they come back to their friends and say, I'm sorry. They immediately change their word because they say, well, it's not my word. My parents said to me, no. So I don't think, it's hard for me to believe that was the case. Like, he Googled it, under 4% is okay. To have any country have it is for peaceful purposes. He went there and he talked about that, and the word was out, and people came out, and the experts, professionals, they said, no, that's wrong. What you should have said was like zero enrichment, nothing. You just can't import enriched uranium from outside. None of that. I don't think that was the case. I think the plan the Trump administration had, well, that was okay under 4%, and for some reason, and I don't want to speculate, they realized that, oh no, now you have to have zero enrichment. And I give you my feedback, what are the scenarios about that. But before that, what she's talking about, the fourth round, when it is, they paused it. So that was the 5th week, that was no negotiation. Because apparently President Trump sent them the letter, the offer, the package. So that was the package, and they hadn't responded. I think right now, because they didn't have response, so next week, like after they basically, Witkov had the package offer to, no, actually not Witkov, Trump, when he went to the Middle East, when it was in Qatar, apparently he sent somebody the package, the offer, and they had to give it to, I think, from Oman, to give it to the Iraq chief, and they said that we haven't received the letter. But I don't think that's necessarily true, because why would Trump lie about such a thing like that? And plus, why would Oman keep that letter, the offer from Iran? What would they do with it? So there is no reason for Trump to lie. There's no reason for Oman to keep. So probably the only reason that Iran said that we haven't received that, because they didn't know what to say. Anyway, but apparently right now, that today that I'm talking, 22nd of May, I think Iran said they are ready for the 5th round of negotiation, and it's going to be very important. And the reason it's going to be important, because I think already they jumped a couple of steps. The steps that we would be on the 8th round of negotiation, we are already there in 5th round, because already Trump gave them the packages, and he changed a couple of, had some adjustment. So now Iran is not saying, because I listened to their a couple of those officials, government like authorities interviews. They didn't reject the negotiation. They didn't get off the walk out of the table, but they still are like acting like we don't know what's going to happen. So both sides are confused. In one hand, President Trump is saying it's so constructive, we are getting closer to have the deal, but on the other hand, that is the hardest part, which is like zero enrichment in uranium, because even in the nuclear deal that they had with Obama, they were allowed to have some level of enrichment inside. And already they have spent, I don't know, the $2 trillion or something in the last 20 years to have those nuclear facilities. So I don't know like if they would accept or not. Listen, as an American, I wish they would accept everything goes well. But when Netanyahu come and said we want the Libya type of nuclear deal, just see what happened to Gaddafi. So I don't know exactly the way that he said that. He just wanted to make the deal get broken, to everything get destroyed, because everyone knows what happened to Libya and Gaddafi after he gave all the nuclear deal facility, everything that he had, he shipped them overseas, and then you saw what happened. So basically, by saying that, there are people are not stupid to forget. They have good enough memory to know what happened to the Libya. So I don't think necessarily it was very good thing to say that. That was with the good faith when he said that we only accept the Libya. But right now, America, President Trump doesn't have very good relation with Netanyahu anymore. That even in Middle East, he didn't go to the Israel, first of all. And second of all, without Israel letting Israel know, they had a negotiation with Hamas to release the last American-Israeli hostages. But also when they had a ceasefire with the Houthis, I guess they again surprised Israel. So we don't know what is going on between them either. So it is very tricky. It's not like these two against this one. Everyone has it's not like America and Israel against Iran. It's not like America and Iran against Israel. It's not Iran and Israel against America. It's none of that. Like everyone has some benefit that is conflicting, has some interest that is conflicting with the other ones. But the news was out that Israel is moving out their artillery, their weapons to get closer, to get ready to strike Iran. I think deliberately America leaked that message, that news, so that would be indirect message to Iran. Hey, if you don't come on the table, they are ready to strike you. I don't think America, it could have two ways. One of them to say to Israel, hey, I know what you're doing. Don't think you are too smart. Because it was as if we spied on Israel and we got that intel without their permission and we leaked them. So it could be the message to Israel, hey, I know what you're doing. Don't think you're smart. Don't think I'm not watching you. I leaked the message. The whole world knows what you're doing. Also, it can be message to Iran. Hey, look, listen, I want to talk to you, but look, world gonna say that you did your best. Iran got off the table, so Israel took the chance, took the opportunity and attacked. So it can be one stone, two birds. But what I believe is, actually, I don't know what is the end game, because Iran is not gonna, if they had any, because I know how the propaganda works in Iran, if they really were ready to kind of give the discount to United States, to say, yeah, okay, no enrichment, they wouldn't go out publicly and make those statements. Because there were a couple of stuff they wanted to give up, they wanted to give discount to go to the table. They didn't talk about that. They went quietly. Every time Iran goes quietly, it means they are okay with that. They just don't want their hardcore fan bases, they get offended by what they accepted on the deal, on the table, in the negotiation. So they would act like, oh, what happened? No, that wasn't me. No, what? They act like they are shocked too. In that case, every time they act like they are denying or they don't know what's up, it is because if they admit that, it's gonna look they're gonna look bad to their own people, to people who are supporting them, of course. But every time they come out and make a bold statement, it means they're really, this is how their propaganda works. It means it is their red line. Because every time they let others cross their red lines, they make it quietly. But right now, they have made it official, and many times different people in authority in the government, they made it clear that it's not negotiable. So we have to see. But on the other hand, President Trump said, basically, I'm going to go to the tariff war for 90 days. And then 1 week after, and he said, I'm not going to be compromised. I'm not going to change my word. It is going to be, this is what it is. But then after 1 week, he put it on the pause. Also with the China, he says, as long as China doesn't come and fix it, doesn't come to fix it, I'm gonna continue. But actually, he put the pause on the tariff with the China as well for 90 days until they come. So he put the pause before the deal was made with China. So also with the Houthis, he says, I'm gonna stop whenever Houthis stop, but now Houthi is doing what he's doing, but still America stopped, like had a ceasefire with them. So we do, or for example, he said like America gonna put it, American soldiers gonna put their boots on Gaza's soil and gonna take over the Gaza and then clear it out and then make a decision what they want to do with the people. But so far, it not only it hasn't happened, there's no sign that actually what President Trump offered in the beginning, first time when Netanyahu showed up into the White House, it's not clear like if we are going to that direction. So basically, he's deal maker, right? So he throw a couple of stuff, couple of ideas to see which one sticks. So it can be one of those negotiation tactics to say, I said zero enrichment, so they would say no. I'd say, yeah, okay, if not, then give up your missiles program or give up your proxies, stop funding the proxies. So I go for 110, with the discount I get 100. It can be that. But we have to see what happens in that case. But when you see Israel is already moving out those missiles, it doesn't mean that they're going to attack, because in Garcia's airport, Garcia's base, America put too many B-2, and you know that they cannot keep them forever. They are because of the environment. It is so humid. Those B-2 bombers, they cannot stay there for long. And eventually he took out a couple of them, put them back in where they were originally. So this movement of your jets, your bombers, your basically your guns, your military equipment doesn't mean necessarily you're going to attack. But I think that's a statement to make Iran make the decision and then come to the table. So we have to see which one going to work out. But the thing, like first week Witkoff said below 4%, that's okay, and now says 0%, and no talking about that. And they're going out and talking in the Congress. I saw Mark Rubio was talking about that. That's a little suspicious. What made you change your mind? Maybe they said under 4%, so they could come to the table. Then already after 5 weeks, they changed their word, and they're already stuck into negotiation, and there's no way out, and say, okay. So maybe that was a tactic to bring them onto the table, drag them into the table, and then they'll say, okay, now new sets of rules. But what's going on right now is the attack right now. Already, I think Israel brought all of the reserve soldiers to go full occupation in Gaza. Full occupation, they want to get rid of the Hamas, and they say we're going to take over the whole Gaza until everything is cleared out. Right? I don't think they can do it simultaneously at the same time that they are, because they get distracted, because I don't think Iran, it is like a Lebanon or Iraq, or it's the final boss. And maybe Israel is counting on United States, I don't know. But what I know for sure is it is not popular. The Anna Kasparian is saying what Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson is saying. You wouldn't, agreeing on any matter, on any issue, these two different sides of the art wouldn't be on your bingo card in 2025. Wasn't on my bingo card either. So when you see it's extremely unpopular to go to another war, that makes you think like, what can they do to change your mind? Or maybe this is all the tactic to just have the negotiation and in the end he make the deal. But one thing that we should know for sure, like I'm gonna tell you, the DNI, Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, in the Congress, she was on oath. She said not only Iran doesn't have any nuclear bomb, we don't have any evidence to suggest that they are even going toward it. And now they are saying like they are making bomb, we have to bomb their nuclear facility, they are getting nuclear weapon. Which one is correct? Because they are exactly saying the opposite. Either these foreign intels are telling the truth, Tulsi Gabbard is lying. It's impossible. Tulsi Gabbard doesn't know what a foreign nation is, because before they go out public and say into the Fox News, they would let their intels, like DNI, Tulsi Gabbard, know. Wouldn't you think, if I know that from Fox News, from all these television, from all these influencers online, long time before they let the official American officials know it? If such an important thing, like they are making nuclear bomb, if that's the case, Tulsi Gabbard would be the first person she would know that. And even let's say American intelligence, our intels are not competent enough, wouldn't you think they would communicate with our greatest ally and they would let her know, hey, they are making bomb, let me know? But still, she said that there is no sign that they are making it. So if that's the case, if they are in fact making it, and Tulsi, what she said, it is false, it means Tulsi lied. Either she's incompetent, that she cannot serve in that position because she was so incompetent, her team was so incompetent that they couldn't get such an obvious thing like that everybody knows in Fox News, but Director of National Intelligence doesn't. Or either she's incompetent or deliberately she's lying. And she was on oath. So which one is that? Are they making bomb? If that's the case, fire Tulsi Gabbard, at least the minimum. The worst should be, she should be arrested. It's an act of treason. You know that your country is at risk and still you're trying to lie to the Congress. Either that's the case, or really it's just BS and they are not making bomb and Tulsi Gabbard is telling the truth. Which ones? I'm saying, if what everybody is saying, everyone, all those neocons are saying it's true, it means Tulsi Gabbard lied. And if that's the case, arrest her, sue her, fire her, do something about that. You cannot at the same time do nothing about the statement that Tulsi Gabbard made in Congress, but also say exactly the opposite of what she said. These two cannot fit together in one spot at the same time. They are making bomb, but still Tulsi is not a liar, because she said exactly opposite. So either she's incompetent, fire her, or she lied deliberately, arrest her. But then they are saying, okay, let's say we bomb the nuclear facilities. It's gonna stop them. Let's forget about it. Let's assume for a second we do it and that's the end of the game, end of the story. There's no retaliation. 70,000 American soldiers in the Middle East, their lives is not under threat. They won't be attacked. It's end of the story. That happens and nothing happens in return. No retaliation, no revenge, no nothing, no response. So is it gonna stop them permanently? They say no. It's gonna just delay the process for 1 year. So now it gets tricky, because if right now, if we go follow the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, they said there's no sign that they're making nuclear bomb. If you attack the nuclear facility, for sure they realize that, okay, now we have to go for bomb. So you're pushing them to go to the bomb, to make the bomb. Because if so far there is no evidence that they are going to make it, with attacking those nuclear facilities, for sure they're gonna go there to, to have something to stop you from attacking them for another time. And then for 1 year, it means not after Trump is gone out of the office, it means in 2026, right, is probably before the midterm. They're gonna again make, they're gonna be able to make the nuclear bomb. If what they are saying is true, they say it's gonna delay the process for 1 year. So what's gonna happen after 1 year? Other than you're gonna drag us to another war. Use your brain, use your logic. Let's say I attack the facilities. Is it end of the story? No. What's gonna happen? It's gonna delay the process for 1 year. So by next year, they're gonna make again nuclear bomb, right? Yes. So what are we gonna do about that? Attack again. You keep attacking until the war happens. Because if only thing that matter to them is just they shouldn't enrich any uranium inside, they shouldn't have any nuclear facilities, Israel could go bomb them. They already attacked Iran's S-300, the anti-missile system. To just go bomb them and then come back. No. I need America to back me up. Why? If the way that they are selling it to us is like, that is one time doing and done. One time and done. Just go over there, attack them, and that's the end of the story. Everyone gonna go home, everyone gonna be happy. But if that's the case, so just go by yourself and attack them. You already have. No, I need the backup. Why do you need backup? Because they want to retaliate. Oh, if they retaliate, they want to kill a couple of American soldiers. What's going to happen next? Oh, if they kill a couple of American soldiers, we have to respond. We are American. We cannot, like, it's going to ruin our pride, right? Like, proud American. We cannot see we are defeated. So now we have to respond to retaliate those American lives that are taken. Now we are dragged to another war. All you need is 2-digit IQ. Even 10 does the job. Even 10. If your IQ is 10, it does the job. Just understand, if attacking those nuclear facilities doesn't stop them forever, but only delay for 1 year, and we know that they're going to go on defense mode if they are attacked, and they say, okay, if I didn't want to make one, now for sure I'm going to do to stop you from attacking me for another time. So they're going to go, so we are pushing them to this time, deliberately they go to make the bomb and say, well, what should we do? We have only 1 year. And it's right before the, or around the time in next year going to be the midterm. So see, not only Trump is in office, but it's not even midterm already. So we are not even half the way through his presidency. We are dragging into another war. And now we have to, because now for sure they have the bomb. So we attack, they attack back. They attack back, what's going to happen? First, American bases are closer to Iran than Israel. So it would be easier target, right? Don't you think so? And they, God forbid, they attack some of our bases and they take some of our soldiers' lives. Now we patriots, we are offended. Now we have to respond, we have to retaliate. We are already dragged into war. So those people who are advocating for that, they are not giving any exit plan. Attack them and deny that was us, that's end of the story. No. We have to make it like a ceremony. We have to all go in, attack them, and call it a win, and wait for them to respond. And when they respond, we have to. We wish we didn't, but we have to right now go attack. If yes, attacking them would stop them forever, they would somehow lose the knowledge. That would make sense. I could see that. Or if there was really they were making it, you know who I trust? Tulsi Gabbard, because she is our director of national intelligence. I don't give a shit about Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Israel, Iran, China, Russia, Ukraine. I don't care. This is my country. You see that? You see that flag? You see? This is what I care. And she said they are not making it. She's saying that. If she said they were making it, I said, oh, wait. Is it going to threat our American or troop? Because I care about our soldiers, my people. Are we nationalists or not? If we are, then we have to mean it. I care about one American soldier over the entire nation. Like, it's greatest ally, good for it, but my priority should be our soldiers whose life is in danger. They are protecting us. They are protecting our interests. Nobody, army of no country is dying for me, but America's army. So I should only care about America's army. Does it put our people's lives in danger over there? If that's the case, so we have to do something about that. But if Tulsi Gabbard is saying no, it's not the case, then why are we going with Mark Levine, or who the F is that guy? And if Tulsi is paid out, is sold out, it is act of treason, she's lying, she was under oath, then sue her, fire her, go after her, and make a case about that. Nobody's talking about that. Nobody called Tulsi Gabbard a liar. Nobody's called her a liar. But still everybody is going to the direction as if she lied. It doesn't make sense to me. So for that case, think about like bigger scale. If you attack them, they're not going to just watch, they're going to attack back. And if they attack back, and God forbid attack a couple of American soldiers, now we are already involved in the war. That's for one. For two, even if we attack, we say it was worth it. We had to make some sacrifices. In order to make an omelet, you have to break some eggs. Those are stupid bullshit. Even if that was the case, you don't even get to your purpose, which is stopping them from making nuclear bomb. You're just delaying 1 year. Delaying the process for 1 year, but this time we know for sure they're going to go after that because they know they're under attack. To prevent that one other attack from us, they're going to go make it. And last thing is, and if it happened, you see why Israel is not attacking by itself? Because they say, what if they retaliate? I cannot do anything by myself. Exactly. So maybe they know that. I mean, I'm sarcastically, I say maybe. For sure they know that. So if they attack and we back them up, so when the war starts, we are dragged automatically to it. Because if the end of the story was just bombing, they have everything. They have everything. Just go bomb and come back. Of course, they are saying, look, we don't have some of those B-2 bombers, some of them that they go 60 feet under the ground. But it's not even the case. Like, they are not arguing about that, oh, we don't have enough ammunition, or we don't have good jet, fighter jets or bombers to does the job. The plan is what is aftermath. What's going to happen aftermath? That is concerning. And I think for that reason, we have to be careful what we are wishing for. I want what I want personally. I'm saying if we are making that much money, and I am blessed to be American, my tax money, our people should get benefited. You know what I'm saying? I want everything to be cheaper. I want everything to be more fun in here, cheaper, more quality. America gets to its greatest form. This is what I want. I want everything to be cheaper, that everybody gets a second idea and a plan B to start a small businesses. Now everything is expensive that nobody even can think about second business. You know, right now what I'm doing? Besides working, I have to come in here out of my passion toward America. I'm talking here. Probably nobody even watches. But I think like that is what I can do because I love my country. And I'm saying, yes, if it serves us, if it benefits us, what kind of, which war that we've participated, especially the Vietnam, did it help us or just added to our national debt? Trump said, I'm going to take care of the national debt, and also I'm going to make everything great again. Make America great again. If we go to the war, besides the lives that are going to be taken, we're going to need more money. We're going to get to more expenses. It's just that simple. And I don't understand why it is hard for people to understand. But I'm saying, if right now you are quiet, you say, I don't know, I don't care. If God forbid, they take, you see those footages from Ukraine, right? They drag people, boys, from the street to put the uniform on their body to send them to the first row of the war. They're sending them to the war. They are out of the people. If God forbid tomorrow they drag your son to the war, then you right now you have time to talk about that, but you didn't. And I think one of the reasons that President Trump behaved differently when he went to the Middle East is because he saw all those memes, all those mean tweets, all those disappointment. You have to look at the Tucker Carlson. Every guest that he brings, he's talking about the war with Iran. And he listens to Tucker Carlson, he watches Tucker Carlson and says, oh, this is my fan base are doing and believing. They are not supporting it. He changed it. He said, we have to be good to Gaza. That's not the language he had 2 months ago, 3 months ago. He has watched that. Oh, he's hardcore fan. Me, I have lost so many friends for supporting Trump. And I'm proud of it because it wasn't about Trump. It's bigger than Trump. It's about America. It's about the flag. I believe he's the best candidate to make America great again. That's why I voted for him. That's why I stand by him. And now he's saying he's hardcore fan. They're saying, bro, you were president of the peace. You are betraying your promises for a foreign government. Let's say Saudi Arabia says, hey, can you help us to get rid of Iran? Screw Saudi Arabia. Screw Qatar. Qatar said, hey, we're going to attack Kuwait. Can you help us? Go do it by yourself. Like I'm saying to any country, I said to Ukraine, I would say to Qatar, I would say to Saudi Arabia, I would say to Russia, China. I mean, they are not our allies, or anybody, even let's say England. I say it's your problem. I'm not going to send my troops, my boys, my sons, our sons to go die for you. And then our people get poorer and poorer. So now it's the time. Now or never. I guess right now you have to speak up, and you see people like David Smith, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and many people, they talk about that. I think President Trump heard us, heard our voices. And that is what I respect him most. He cares about, he pays attention. Biden didn't give a F about his own fan bases. You know how many times they asked him to stop sending aid to Israel, and Biden couldn't care less? That's how they lost. But actually Trump is saying, oh, he's populist. He says, if my people, my fan base, they don't like, because he needs our vote for midterm as well. And I'm happy that I see like his fan base, MAGA base, they made it clear, no. We only want to focus in America and nothing else. If there's only one military intervention that I support right now, it's Canada. We're subsidizing them for $200 billion per year. In last 4 years that we went into war, helping Ukraine against Russia, in whole 3 years, we had to spend 200 billion every year that we are spending on Canada from collapsing. You're going to be my state. I'm not going to pay you that much for just keeping you a country. No, it's not going to happen. That's the only country that I kind of support going after. After Greenland, of course, but Canada is more crucial to us, I believe. That's my take. I hope to see you next time. Thank you for watching. Like always, as above, so below. Bye.